Hey, how's it going guys? SafeKitty here with another Blacklight Retribution commentary. It's been a while since I've actually done one of these. I've been planning to do one for a while now, but I've just been busy with college and in real life stuff. But here I am again, I guess. Let's start off with the gameplay. I'm go like 33 and 3 with this gameplay. I'm using the default gear, default TAC SMG with the health max tag, which gives me 203 health rather than default 200. I've been messing around with new receivers since the news of the banning of the AR and the AK from the competitive scene. So I've been messing around with like TAC SMG, SMG, Burstfire SMG, BPFA, M4X. I don't know, I've just been experimenting with different weapons and stuff, as are most competitive players right now, since everyone used to use assault rifles because it's so overpowered as the jack of all trades. Um, but yeah, I've been really finding the TAC SMG to be something I enjoy. It's a fast-paced weapon and it matches my aggressive playstyle. And the loom move spread on the TAC SMG really helps with like strafing while shooting and whatnot. But let's go on to what I really wanted to talk about in this commentary is competitive scene. There's a lot of talk about the competitive scene right now since, as most of you probably heard, the BCL rule set that they used in the August and Christmas Cups, they're trying to finalize something that'll be more balanced. And since there's been a lot of talk about ESL and esports coming back into Blacklight, there's been a lot of talk about them from like last year, and but right now there's a lot more talk since we finally pushed out the PlayStation version, and there's been hints toward a recent upcoming to ESL patch from the Beard and PWE, but fingers crossed, right? But so the competitive scene, they've been trying to figure out a rule set that encompasses all the receivers rather than just the AR, since that's what everyone was using for all the tournaments so far, and it's just bland to see everyone running around with an AR and whatnot. It's just not what's gonna let this game grow. So we've been trying to had a rule set that encompasses all the receivers and gives each receiver its own niche. So starting off, I think it's been confirmed that the AR and the AK are both banned in the next tournament. So again, a lot of competitive players have been trying to play with different receivers now, and in pubs, if you play with any competitive players, you probably see them with like BPFA or something other than AR, just so they can practice their aim or whatnot. I've been running, I don't know, I've been really liking the TAC SMG. I don't know if it's truly viable in the competitive scene, but from the little practice I've done with it against really good players, it can hold its own, but against like 2v1 situations and stuff, it's really not that great. But 1v1, it's decent. So I'll see. Probably like, I don't know, I'll see. I'm favoring more fast-paced weapons like the SMG M4X. It's just my playstyle, it matches my playstyle for fast-paced weapons. But yeah, hopefully we can get a finalized rule set soon, and hopefully the AR and AK are banned because they're just stupid to have in the rule set right now. It's overpowering, and we don't need everyone running around with an AR and outclassing every other weapon, from let it be CQC or long distance. I've seen in pubs and scrims you can outclass bars from distance with an AR, and it's just stupid. They really needed to ban it a long time ago. Speaking of the competitive scene, I've got a few questions about people asking where I started in a competitive scene. It's actually quite interesting. The first time I ever played in a competitive thing in Blacklight was the Logic Gaming Pug event that they held. I don't know when it was. I think it was like May of 2013. I want to say, but don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. That was my very first introduction into the competitive scene. I think I played with Walnut Tarts, Leica Bosch, and a few other people. Sorry, I forgot your names. But that was my first real taste of the competitive scene. Before that, I was just like a random pop star, just running around with prox mines and 214 health and whatnot, and an assault rifle. But after getting a taste of the competitive scene, I was like, hey, I really like this, and I would really like to go competitive. But for a few months down the line, I just couldn't. I was one of the worst players in Reacts, and every time they did scrim, it was at a time I wasn't available, and nothing just fit. So eventually, after Reacts disbanded and left to play Warframe or whatnot, I left Reacts and then just pub stomped without a clan tag or anything. And a few months later, I think in August, I want to say, of 2013, I was talking to 430 Sub-Zero from Loki, and he's like, hey man, you're pretty decent, you want to join this clan Loki, it'll be fun. So I was like, hey, why not, as long as, if you guys are going to do competitive stuff, I might as well join. And sure enough, I joined, and the first actual Clan v Clan scrim I ever did was with Loki against Void. I think it was me, Sub, and Tyriak, and a few other people from Loki that did it, and it was Tyriak not being in Loki, he was subbing in for us. But it was really weird going from watching people like Zero Armada or Fatal or whatever playing in scrims, like watching their videos, to going to actually be in a scrim. It was crazy. But at that point, Loki wasn't that great. It was just a bunch of puppies in a competitive-esque clan that did scrims once in a while with Void or some other random clans. But after continually scrimming and keeping at it, we got the interest of some really good players like Best Gamer Tag and eventually Verb and Red Serpent. Verb joined us after OG had broken up, and Red Serpent followed him soon after. And if it's indicative of how good we were at our peak, 4 of the members from Loki are now in LG, which is considered to be the best clan right now. So we were that good, I suppose, if you want to consider being an LG an indication of how good a clan is. But yeah, it wasn't always like that though. So there was an interesting point where we actually got beat by MAT. No offense to them, but it wasn't something that we were used to. We played them and we knew we could beat them. We beat them over and over, but they were good practice just to warm up or whatnot. But there was one match, I remember specifically, it was Deadlock, where they beat us 750 to like 700 or something, and I got absolutely furious. I really couldn't stand the fact that we lost to MAT, no offense to them again, but it's not something that I took lightly, and I actually lost my temper, and it was from that point that we started to nail down how important strats were. Our gunplay was subpar compared to clans like Ranger and LG, but our strats were so precise that we could actually compete with them and actually beat them. After the match with MAT, later that day we actually scrimmed Ranger and played their A-team with Tyriak, Ian, Cement Block, Zexus, and I think Ragnar. And we actually beat them, and not like 750 to 740 or something. We actually beat them 750 to, say, I think it was 500 or so, and we beat them 3 times consistently. So that's when we finally became the clan at its peak, and it was something beautiful. But before I keep rambling on, I think the gameplay is about to end. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.